Hello, I am Vinay Shankar. I am an assistant professor with University School of Mass Communication in Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University in New Delhi. I welcome you to this module which deals with video production with digital still cameras. After studying this module, you should be able to understand in detail the video recording feature in digital single lens reflex cameras, know about the advantages and limitations of using a DSLR for video recording, know the various ways of overcoming the limitations of DSLR video recording, know the situations where DSLR is not the best choice for recording video. I would also like to add that this module uses several photography terms. If the learner is already familiar with basic terminology of photography and video production, he or she will find it easier to follow. DSLRs or digital single lens reflex cameras are the most popular cameras amongst the still photography professionals and hobbyists. Some professionals also prefer the large format view cameras and compact mirrorless cameras for specific requirements. But digital single lens reflex cameras have been able to provide the right balance of compact body, versatile features, flexibility and professional quality. These reasons together make it a successful design and a popular camera. Much before digital became a norm in still photography, the most popular professional cameras were single lens reflex cameras. They had the same design and principles as today's DSLRs, except that they used a celluloid based film to sense and record an image. The DSLR is a genesis of the same design, where an electronic sensor captures the image. Let us start with taking a look at the functioning of a DSLR camera. The functioning of SLR and DSLR cameras have a moving mirror at its core. This mirror makes it possible to see the same image in the viewfinder, which will be recorded by the film or the sensor. When one looks through a DSLR viewfinder, the view that one gets to see has been transmitted through the photographic lens attached at the front of the camera body. The photographer gets to see the same image that she is going to record. The light reflected by the object in the front of the camera is gathered by the lens and transmitted to a mirror placed within the dark interiors of the camera. This reflex mirror is placed at a 45-degree angle. In this position, it can reflect the image up towards the ground glass. The mirror reflects the light vertically onto a ground glass where image is projected in a laterally inverted form. The optical device called pentaprism is located above the ground glass. It corrects the laterally inverted image and reflects it into viewfinder, where the photographer sees the image. As the photographer presses the shutter release button, reflex mirror tilts up and aligns itself with the ground glass. Thus, light is blocked from going into the pentaprism. It goes directly towards the focal plane where the image sensor is placed. The shutter, which otherwise remains closed, opens at this point and the light touches the sensor. After this, the shutter comes back to closed position and the reflex mirror drops back to the 45-degree angle. In this position, it continues to reflect the light into the viewfinder. After this, the processor inside the camera converts the image into appropriate format and stores it on the memory card. The processors these days are fairly efficient and fast at their job. Some can write several frames within a second. So, that was about how the DSLR cameras work to record a still image. Let us now talk about how and when the DSLRs came into the market and became popular for video production. The digital point and shoot cameras were available in the consumer market since 1990s. But by mid-90s, they had become quite cost effective and popular. They were liked for the ease of use, but they could never capture the fancy of professional users because of an inferior picture quality. These initial cameras were also designed for the consumer segment and did not give much control over the image to the photographer. But things began to change by the end of 90s. Digital single lens reflex cameras made their first appearance in 1999. Nikon became the first company to manufacture these cameras. Nikon was already amongst one of the leading manufacturers of film-based single lens reflex cameras. Their DSLR camera was primarily a still camera which had started using digital technology instead of film. 9 years and several editions of DSLRs later, Nikon introduced D90, first DSLR to have video recording capabilities. Some smaller cameras were already offering this capability, but their resolution was low. Within a month of the launch of Nikon's D90, Canon came up with EOS 5D, a DSLR with full HD video recording facility. With these two cameras coming into picture, a completely new scenario was created. Video creators and filmmakers saw new possibilities in this new function in a device which was primarily meant to be a still camera. This additional feature meant different things to different users. It made it possible to do still and videos without having to invest in two different devices. For those who were primarily into still photography, an additional option of recording the videos through the same device was now open. Let us discuss the reasons for the enthusiasm towards this device, or rather towards this new feature in a device which was already existing. One prime reason was that most of the filmmakers who had only limited budget at their disposal had been working with camcorders. The camcorders were designed to please too many people. They were being used for documentaries, news, marriage videos, industrial films, even recordings, and whatnot. They were versatile enough to fulfill a variety of needs, but they also had several limitations, especially for the filmmakers. As Kurt Lancaster says in his book DSLR Cinema, video cameras are full of compromises, such as high zoom ratios with fixed lenses that do not come close to the quality of the glass found in Zeiss or Canon L series prime lenses, for example. Of course, there were bigger, better cameras available in the market, but they were out of reach for the humble budgets of independent and struggling filmmakers. In fact, one can say that DSLRs help to create a level playing field for these low budget filmmakers. As Adam Nixon discusses in his work Performance in Ones and Zeros, No Budget Cinema in Digital Era, narrative feature filmmaking has traditionally been an elite art form practiced by moneyed, culturally powerful individuals through institutions in specific locations around the world. With the worldwide dissemination of digital camera, however, non-professional, self-financed, no-budget outsider filmmakers worldwide now practice the art form. That is the empowering potential of low-cost digital video and the DSLRs.